Well, hello, my beautiful people of TikTok. I did want to give you guys an update on this case. If you guys do not follow me on the YT, you didn't hear the update of how we were possibly, we were hearing reports that mom and dad might be getting out today and charges might not be filed. And it caused a lot of problems with social media and everything else. And so I dived into it. I looked at a lot of information, and it appeared that it was a jurisdictional issue that was blown out of proportion, in all fairness. And so we just learned, because of the jurisdictional issues, the investigative body, San Bernardino, California Sheriff's Office, and their DA is the one that was processing everything, because they're the ones that received the missing person alert. And then, of course, they ended up doing their investigation, finding out the house is where this child lost their life. So now that's Riverside County, not San Bernardino, but they had already arrested these folks. And so the case the whole entire file had to go from San Bernardino over to Riverside, and the Riverside DA had to review everything that San Bernardino did, get refreshed on the file, and then decide what to ultimately charge Rebecca and Jake with. They had until 11 a.m. to officially charge them. It did literally come down to the wire today. I am very grateful to tell you guys right now. I don't know what's going on. They're still got to go and get arraigned for their charges. But I am pleased to tell you that they were officially charged. They have now been charged with homicide. Both of them have been charged with malice murder. And they also have been charged with a count of false reporting of, false police report. They still have to go before the judge. So everybody right now is proceeding into the court that's there. I don't believe this court hearing is going to be live, because I've listened to mainstream media outside of the court. And so they're going to go in, take notes, and inform us. I don't know if they'll be able to provide us information. Sometimes they allow news people to at least post on X while in there, even though they can't, record or anything like that. So I don't know if we're going to be getting some updates on X. I am paying attention. This is undergoing and underway right now. I just saw a live on X from a news reporter that's outside. They have provided us the breaking news that they are officially charged with the murder, the malice murder, and they are officially now charged, which they were only charged with one count of malice murder each. So those charges have actually been upgraded now to include the false reporting of a crime. So they have they both have false reporting of the crime, and both have malice murder charges. They are going before the judge today. I believe they're going before the judge just in maybe 15 minutes. I believe the court is going to be starting, because everybody was proceeding in there. So that tells me it's getting pretty close to the start of the proceedings. So I just thought I would come here, inform you guys of what's going on. I'm going to download this live and try to upload it as a video here on TikTok, so everybody does have this breaking information. I will try to keep you guys posted on what I find, but I will be reviewing X, so you guys can review X with me. That's where I'm going to be getting my information this afternoon. That's my go-to when we have nobody that can run video in court. If people can run video in court, I'm usually at their station, or on YouTube if they are live streaming there. But right now it doesn't appear that anybody has permission to live stream. I haven't heard anybody say that they have permission to live stream in that courtroom. Someone was in the courtroom recording. Thank you, One Love. So hopefully, if anybody usually does get the permission to do that, it is usually court TV. But if they're recording stuff in that courtroom and they're not officially press, it could be a crime. So I'm just going to caution people that are going there. You're probably not going to get it. I'm pretty sure everybody that's going to this court hearing is already in the court and probably not watching Bullhorn Betty. But he got kicked out Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm hearing they both have $1 million bails. That's what I heard as well. That's what I heard as well, is I heard no bond, but I think that when I got no bond was when they officially charged them, and the crimes that they have are probably no bond until they see a judge. And if the judge put the $1 million up there, hopefully that keeps them in jail. I don't think that these two people or their families have that kind of money to get them out. So they don't I get it, Coyote. I agree with you. In the games he's playing, well, and this is the problem. He's in the process of throwing Rebecca under the bus. Let's look at this. I just want to fill you guys in, because I do believe she's a battered woman. I'm not giving her any breaks. You don't become a mom and then stay and watch your 7-month-old child lose his life to the likes of somebody like this. I'm sorry. There's no amount of abuse that makes that okay. Okay, there just isn't. So she's an accomplice, but he set her up for all of this, okay? And he's going to capitalize, or at least attempt to capitalize on this. He's the one that had her going into the stores for the power equipment. He's the one that had her reporting the child missing. He's the one that had her pushing that buggy out by the sanctuary church, if that is accurate and true, which we kind of do believe. He's the one that had her doing everything. He's going to end up pushing this, just much like Vanessa's. I've looked at the reports and the stuff, the affidavits, and the investigator reports of him, and him throwing Vanessa under the bus, and she's going to be thrown under the bus. But the good thing is just like we found out, there's 3 children, multiple children from multiple different relationships that all suffered at the hands of Jake. So the idea that Jake had nothing to do with this or doesn't hurt kids, we know that's false, because every child he has been in contact with has sustained injuries from him. So one of them has lifelong injuries. One of them is deceased. He is a violent, and I mean violent, criminal. And she is no different, because she stood by her man because she just loves him more than she loves her child. And that's why she is going down. But make no mistake. Make no mistake, she's in a jailhouse interview sticking to her story that this was abducted because he told her to. And she's probably still fearful of what this man may do to her if she doesn't listen to him. Yet while she's being still scared of telling the truth, which again, she deserves to go to prison. I'm not giving her any passes. He's out there with law enforcement, most likely, absolutely, ashes to ash. Yep. She's absolutely guilty. She is an accomplice. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, but it's all him. It's all him, and she allowed herself to get dropped down, brought into it. She could have saved her child's life, and she listened to him. She deserves everything she gets at this point. She's had more times than not to come clean. She still, up to this day, could have told them where her baby was. And she still has not. She is an evil monster, no different than him. And we can't look at her any different. Yes, she's going to have some different nuances in her case because she is a battered wife. And she most likely did this out of fear for what he was going to do to her. And that can come into play for her sentencing. But she's still guilty. She is still guilty. So he's out there throwing her under the bus because what made him go out there? We don't know if he confessed, or we're hearing he did confess, but what could he have confessed? It is possible that he said she did it all, right? And he thinks he knows where she put him, right? That would have got him a ride out there. He could have confessed. We're hearing rumors he confessed. I don't know. I don't know if he fully confessed. I just don't see him doing that. He has his attorney. He got his attorney before he even allowed her to get an attorney to save his own butt. This guy is like evil, right? But he's always managed to turn his own wives into accomplices in every single instance. That's a craft. That shows me he's a narcissist. You know it and I know it. He was able to do it with Isabel. Isabel never even called in the abuse on her son, and he's going to have lifelong problems throughout his life because of the abuse of his hands. We already see Promise Faith. We know her condition. We know that she will never be the same, and we know his condition, and we know he will never be the same. So he's out there trying to show law enforcement, and he's playing them. He was playing law enforcement, because I truly believe if Emmanuel was out there anywhere, I believe that the scent dogs would have picked up a scent. Not necessarily that they would have carried to him, but I truly believe the dogs would have caught a scent. No scent. Guys, no scent. No scent. He's not out there. I don't believe he's out there. I actually believe they need to do thorough search in around like that sanctuary church, between the sanctuary church and the Big Five, because they were just out there too much. And that's a long way from home. And that would be a place they felt comfortable moving around in. It's my understanding that Jake used to live in Yucaipa. Now, I could be totally wrong. That is a rumor I heard. But it sounds like he's more affiliated in that area than, say, she is. I can't find anything on this woman. She's been married. She's had a divorce. We see statements in court records, for the domestic stuff with her ex-husband. But I can't find anything on this woman, background or otherwise, other than what people have produced on these things. As far as her credit report, her addresses, her past phone numbers with her credit and her account. Nothing is on the internet about this woman. It's very, there is now, like, we have a court case, but usually those court cases resonate into profiles on these programs like E-Verify and Truth Finder and all the gamut of, stuff that you can find online. His family, yeah, absolutely sus. Absolutely sus. I don't like his mama. I don't like his stepdaddy. I don't like his sister. I don't like any of them. I don't like any of them. I think they're trash. I think they're trash. I think they knew what was going on. I think they knew him, and they never once cared. They never once made this boy accountable. Even his own mother was just cold. Just cold. His mother, I don't like her. I don't like her at all. Like, I don't believe in assault or, that if she walked by, I'd spit on the ground. Turn my back to her. I don't like grandma. And I'm not talking about her mom. Her mom actually is as many of you guys now know, an adopted mom. She did her best. She didn't like Jake. It damaged her relationship with her adopted daughter, and they just recently reunited just back in March. And from March to now, 5 months, she has gone from thinking she would have a great relationship with her daughter and get to have a relationship with her grandchildren to finding out her daughter is part of why she's down one grandchild. It sounds like the family doesn't want to have anything to do with Rebecca anymore, and I'm going to caution them against that, because I think that they can get a lot more information by being there for her than not. They need to be telling her what Jake's doing. They need to be coaxing her into the right answer. I think that the family, by turning their back at this point, might actually further injust Emmanuel. I think maybe, keeping your enemies a little closer and maybe playing the game a little bit might help. And just my opinion, if any family member of hers is put some money on her commissary, start having her call you, start, making sure you're supporting her, let them know what Jake's doing, how he's pushing her under the bus, making sure she knows that she might want to speak first to help herself out, that it's pretty serious on this side of the screen, and we understand that they've been charged. Yes, they have. Yeah, they were charged. I haven't heard anything about, actually, you know what, I'm going to get off here and we'll come back a little later. I want to hear any updates. I know that they were charged like around 11. For those that are just coming in, they were charged with the malice murder, both of them. and they also added an additional charge of filing a false police report for both of them as well. So we should, as I was going live here, one of the news organizers had just posted that they were going into the courthouse to see what happens. So let me get off here. Let me find out what's going on, and I'll be back live here after a little bit to give you guys some updates. But it sounds like they're not coming home, okay? Whether they have Emmanuel's body, we need to give San Bernardino Sheriff a round of applause, folks, because I'm telling you, I was kind of on pins and needles, you know. I was on pins and needles. Court's at 1:30, Jennifer Burr said. Thank you for that information. I do appreciate it. So if you guys are here, 1:30 for us is 4:30 on the East Coast. So we'll be back around 4:30. That's another hour and a half away, it sounds like. No plea deal on redrum. I got to remember, I got to be careful on what I say. I'm taking the approach that Brian Enton takes on this. You know, I'm sorry, but this is, you know, I'm not going to sugarcoat if TikTok wants to ban me from here from saying, you know, our laws here in the United States, because we have laws about murder. I'm not going to say unaliving, because we don't have laws in the United States that put you in jail for unaliving somebody, okay? They put you in jail for murder, for homicide. And, you know, people not using that or being shadow banned, I don't care anymore, because journalistic integrity means a little bit more than whether I'm monetized on this channel or not. You know, at the end of the day, they murdered their child, and that is truly the truth. That is the facts of this case. That is what law enforcement is going to prove in court. And every time we desensitize language like that, or we have to use softened language, we're taking what happened to this child away. And I'm sorry, there's not a dollar in this world that's going to make me take the integrity and the dignity from this child, because he wasn't unalived. He was murdered by his parents. It should be happening soon, y'all. It should be happening soon. So I think that's what and if my account has to be reduced because of that, then we're just going to have to live with it, you know. But I don't think I don't agree that this child was unalived. I'm sorry, I just don't. And every time somebody says that on this platform, you take away what truly happened to this child, and I think that's unfair. I think it's unfair. All right, guys, we will be back. The good news is they are officially charged. So that one major hurdle that we've been listening about for the last 24 hours has officially been overcome. Okay? They have been charged. Yes, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's what I'm hearing. From what I'm hearing, they're supposed to be back in court at 1:30 Pacific Time. Okay, so that's what I'm hearing. Pacific Time, 1:30. So you guys do, you know, your calculations for the area that you live in, and that will be the time that it's going to go. I don't know if we have cameras in the courtroom. We're all going to find out together, but I will give you guys my commentary once I hear what's going on. So I think so far we're doing pretty good. And I think if they've charged and they officially charged, then San Bernardino did a great job. Okay, this is a nobody charge. They have nobody. So that means they have to have overwhelming evidence, okay, for 2 DAs. Because remember, San Bernardino DA is the first one. Now it's over here in Riverside because of the jurisdictional issues. Okay? What time? It's supposed to be going on at 1:30 Pacific Time from what I hear. Do your own research on that. That's just from somebody in my chat. I did not see the date or the time, or we know the date is today, but I didn't. So Valerie's saying 1:30 as well. So we have multiple people saying that the court's going to be at 1:30 today. And that's Pacific time. So you'll have to I don't know who's in Central, you know, who's in Eastern, but 1:30. It saw it on the docket at 1:30. in California, which is Pacific time. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Let's keep our fingers crossed that they get through this. I guess it's an arraignment. So I think that they were charged. They have the arraignment. Then comes the preliminary hearing. Then comes the official grand jury indictment. Or they can skip the preliminary hearing and go straight to the grand jury indictment. So we'll see how they're going to play this. We'll see how they're going to play this. But yes, they are, in my opinion, Mama Kelly, you're right. They are guilty, and there needs to be hell to pay because this guy got away with it once, but we cannot allow him to get away with it this time. We need to make sure this man never sees the light of day, never has an opportunity to procreate, and never has an opportunity to injure one more child. He likes hurting babies. Okay? He likes hurting babies. I think it's a compulsion for him. I think it's like our cereal guys. It's a compulsion. It's a compulsion. He can't help himself. He sees a baby and he sees an opportunity and he wants to hurt someone. So he hurts that little baby. You know how I know that? Because we have 3 women and 3 children, all 3 injured. This man likes to hurt people. He deserves to be in jail for the rest of his life. I wish I could say a little bit further, but we are in California. I'm going to take my gifts with California from the San Bernardino. You know, I'm not a California. There's very little I like about California outside of their beauty and the great people that live inside California. I don't like much of anything else. Okay, so I see San Bernardino doing an amazing job, and God bless this baby for that sheriff's office. Because again, we have another case, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers and Sheriff Snuggle Struggle that is completely poo-pooed on Sebastian. So seeing something like this, seeing everybody come together, seeing everybody work really, really hard, and see everybody get the job done. Amen. Amen. And let's take that with us. Let's take that with us because, you know, out of all the things we do say about California, this is the one thing that they got right. Okay? Not just one law enforcement body, 2 law enforcements, not just 1 DA, 2 DAs. Okay? That tells me that this case is rock solid. They got some problems. These parents have some problems, even without him. So that means they did a great job. They have overwhelming evidence. I absolutely believe it. All right, guys, we'll see you soon.